So, I've never done an album review before. I did go over Why Not when it came out, but none of the rest of the songs in the 12 o'clock album. This time I'm actually going to talk about the whole set of tracks. I'm going to talk about the songs' constructions, their quality, and which ones were most forgiving in the line distribution. So, with that in mind, please note, the first person to comment about how people hate Heejin or Chu is going to leave a new crater on the moon when I throw you into it. The first person to laboriously lecture me about how it obviously isn't the idol's fault they get a lot of lines, even though no one said that, is going to get thrown into the sun. We all squared up? Good. First is our intro track, which is And. To be honest with you, intro tracks are LOONA's domain, their property. And each comeback I always think the new intro is my favorite one. My favorite to ever exist is probably always going to be Add, but XX and Hash both made leaps. I think these horror movie sounding intros get to me the most, honestly. Hash could easily be used as backing music over a teaser for some new season of whatever dramatic suspense show you care to name, with murders and monsters and darkness. And is the same way, except it sounds more cosmic, droning. It has the depth of space to it, the reverberating power and the emptiness all at once. The thing that gets me most is that closing note, when you think it's going to wheel high one last time, but the high wheeling note is interrupted by a much louder, darker note that sounds so fucking ominous it gives me chills. For now, I'm gonna have to call And my favorite LOONA intro track so far, at least for the full group. Back in October 2020 when I posted that Why Not video, I said that it was a major joy to have because I had been secretly hoping for an electronic composition for a LOONA track, and I got one for the title track of all things. And yeah, electro music, I can dig it. I've always thought LOONA would rock it, and they did. But you know what gets me absolutely insane? Nothing short of wilding out, losing my goddamn mind? I'll tell you, a strong drumline and a powerful pre-chorus, and PTT is not fucking around on those fronts. This is, honest to God, my favorite LOONA title track and comeback. Actually, no, it's the best one, and I'll say that with confidence. Ferocity and LOONA mix together so well that I am so thrilled. Paint the Town feels like a love letter to me, personally, because it sets my soul on fire and charges me up. I mean, listen to this shit.
Let us put on a show. 다른 거 원해 more. 경기를 깨고 raw. We don't stop until the sun goes up. 다 내려놓고 춤을 춰. You can make us stop. We about to paint the town.
I do not have time for any of that, yeah, Butterfly is still the best, but nonsense. I said what I said. PTT is the icon, the legend, and the moment. You know why I went nuts over Singing in the Rain, Heart Attack, and One and Only when they came out? Because they had strong backing percussion and rising pre-choruses. PTT said, step aside, I got this. I play that shit in my car on the way to work, blasting that percussion in my ears, and it makes me feel something in my bones. Fuck! You know my car is about to shake itself apart with me in it, and you can hear me from a mile away. It's basically what you get if you cross the intensity of Singing in the Rain with the power of the second beat drop in Love Cherry Motion. Mathematically, it's a perfect song. Literally every part of it is iconic. The visuals, the dance, the vocals, the rap. Every individual piece of the song itself is insanely good.
You break it, you make it, you kill it, you want it, you own it, you show it.
As far as who sings what, I have several things to say. In contrast to my worsening feelings over So What and Why Not with each passing month, I actually think we've improved just a tiny bit. Don't get me wrong, we're still struggling because this is LOONA, and nothing ever really changes that much at Blockberry Creative, but hear me out. Heejin is still getting too many lines because she's Heejin and she does that, but what else does she do? Nothing, really. She doesn't have any killing dance parts, her one high note actually sounds good because it isn't straining her, and she doesn't rap at all. In fact, she doesn't rap the entire album over. It seems like I finally got my wish, and right when it was looking like I was going to have to fly over there to Korea too. The same is true for Eve, who doesn't take nearly as much spotlight as usual. Kim Lip and Chu, well, they balanced out the difference unfortunately. I guess it's nothing we're not used to. Although if some folks don't tear their heads away from Eve to appreciate Kim Lip being a dance queen, I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands. I obviously wish it had been Hostel who got all of that Kim Lip screen time and line time. She deserved to take the world by storm in her first comeback since Butterfly, she deserved to be the name people were frantically searching up on Google, but BBC stuck to their guns as usual. At the very least, we got more Yojin time than ever, and Hyunshin stayed strong. This is a fucking high quality song at any rate. I'm not afraid to say that tempering Heejin, Eve, and Olivia K actually made this comeback better than it would have been, and had the remaining two been tempered as well, this would have been literally unparalleled. As it is, it's already peerless. Olivia was right, this song just does not get old no matter how many times you play it. I genuinely think this is their peak. They cannot possibly impress me more than they did with this song. But there's an entire album waiting, so as much as I want to keep hyping up PTT for the rest of my life, the next track is Wow. I don't know what genre you would call this song, but it's jazzy as hell and very, very fun. It's right up there with Voice and Star from B-sides that kind of blow your mind a little. It is, as usual, our condescending little bone thrown to Go1 and Vivi, the latter less than the former, but it still sounds good all the same. I think what kills me most in this song is the way Hyunjin starts it off. Seriously, she sounds amazing and no one could have done the line like she did. And of course the pre-chorus. I love how both of them are done by Chu, Cherry, and Hasul, and how it's rearranged so they all get to shine equally with their high notes. We've been saying these last 2 years that every other song would blow our minds if Hasul was singing, and it's true. This is very Love Battery-esque and it's a very theatrical composition, and that's just proof that Hasul needs to sing Love Battery live immediately. There's always the line distribution, of course, which I think peaks at its worst with this song along with Why Not. Not only are 90% of the ad-libs Chu with some Heejin thrown in, there's so many Chu ad-libs they're interrupting her own damn lines. Which makes this about the point at which I ask, seriously? Not just at BBC, but at orbits who are going to bitch that, hey, it still sounds good, stop stamping your foot. How much more of this are you going to excuse? Every single time we actually get a song in which Vivi, Yojin, or Go1 get to sing, the ad-libs kick in and make double sure that the same few members always sing the most. It's always been irksome, but now they're just filling the whole song with them and giving them to 1 or 2 members, which is more than a little extreme. You can't seriously look at this and not admit to yourself, yeah, this is total bullshit, right? Right? Coming in behind Wow is Be Honest. I like this song. It's like Hide and Seek, which is an iconic bop, but with more organized chaos thrown in. The beat is always changing. With the sound of high heels and a car door closing in the beginning, they made sure this would be the song on everyone's minds when they think Cool Girl. It's honestly amazing. It makes you feel like you're driving down Main Street, past bars and casinos and parties, trying to find out where you'll spend your night with your friends. And that hostile high note at the end! Mwah! And just like with Wow, the arrangement of lines here is something we need to talk about. So, BBC give their ad-libs out very exclusively, we know that, but now we need to talk about the rapping. I've been on this since the So What era, but LOONA have not had any full-length rap verse sung by a single member in ages. Don't get me wrong, the raps as we've had them have been amazing, but not only do I really want to see more from whoever the rapper of the season is, I'm starting to get uncomfortable with the whole Vivi rapping angle. Mostly because, without any full-length raps, these just become yet another way to make sure the short, fast lines go to the members BBC wants hidden the most. It's kind of hard to get fans to say, oh wow, who's that girl that sang that fire rap in that one song, when there's 4 girls doing it in the span of 1 verse. And I think BBC are very aware of that. Of course, even if I'm crazy and this isn't some big conspiracy to mute Vivi and Go1, I'm being facetious, it totally is, it's constricting. They do this every album now. We haven't had a single full-length rap since Egoist, which is preventing any single member of LOONA from getting the attention they deserve as a rapper. Moving on to Dance on My Own. This song is kind of like the star of this album, and that it honestly sounds amazing. It's probably their second best track after PTT, and it's an English to boot. I've yet to hear about it going big on American radio like Star did, but I'm still holding out hope, because unlike in their title track, the girl's English coach was not asleep here. They sing the English really, really well, and the lyrics are lovely. This is the once per album self-love situation, and it makes me feel things. I hear Kim Lip's small, quiet voice talking about being given nothing at all, and I want to hurt the guy who would even dare. And the fact that this relatively quiet, low-energy track that focuses on vocals includes Vivi and Go1 singing, and they sound just as amazing as everyone else, they sound homogenous with the rest of the group, so you can't even say that their vocal color is clashing with someone else's. So this really is their moment. And then come the Heejin ad-libs. Y'all, I legit just went into this on WoW, so I'll keep it short. You'll have 12 members singing this song. Having one member sing the ad-libs is stupid. At that point, it's not even about being unfair. It's about it just being stupid. Straight up dumbass shit. Why? Why only one member? I'm a consumer, you know. We're all here paying for LOONA albums and merchandise. We're paying for 12. That's the reason I go on these tangents about line distribution, you know. We're well past the point of excusing it, but now we can't even explain it. This is like having an entire set of options for your sub sandwich, but all you choose to put on there is fucking Parmesan cheese. Beyond that, I call Dance on My Own the star of this album, but in a sense, it's also the oops of this album. By which I mean, it's an amazing song and almost might be my favorite, at least until that post-chorus kicks in. I'll say more about Oops later, but right now I'm talking about the second verse. See, it's incomplete. It's very obvious, which is the pre-chorus coming in after 4 lines the first time and only 2 the second time, that there was supposed to be more to the second verse. It's only half done, and I'm not kidding when I tell you that hearing this song is very jarring that way. You hear Cherry, you hear Olivia, and then all of a sudden we're rising back into the pre-chorus when we just got done with it a few seconds ago. It holds the song back, honestly. It's not like we couldn't have done without a few more vocals, and between the 4 award-winning composers on this one song, I don't believe for a second the rhymes were exhausted. Moving on to A Different Night, which is unfortunately going to get me flamed because it's easily my least favorite song on the album, as in a total skip. Back when I first heard the teaser medley, I had a bad feeling that A Different Night was going to be Fall Again all over again. And I'm sort of right in that it's a ballad that holds Vivi and Go On Back along with a main vocal. But that's about where it ends. See, I actually like Fall Again. In fact, for ballads, it's right up there as one of LOONA's best, straight up. It's held back vocally, but the composition is 100%. I don't get that with A Different Night though. Don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled to have more Yeojin and Hyunjin vocals, finally. They sing their hearts out and I'm glad, but this song just isn't it for me. I find it boring as hell, I really do. It's another LOONA song about a relationship slowly dying, but it doesn't have the same charms that Seesaw, Where You At, or Day and Night did. It just sounds very, very standard and unchallenging, and it doesn't sound like something only LOONA could do. It sounds like something I could hear on any girl group or even boy group album. It's a nice song, but my god does it taste like paper. The last song on the album is You Are, which is a very high note to end it on. This is the one song that, for all that PTT left scorch marks and Be Honest was musically stellar, is by far the best balanced breakfast. It is the one song on which I have not one single complaint to make. It's a lovely song that makes me feel very soft, and the line distribution is by far one of the best we've ever seen. They really went as far as to keep Heejin off the track for almost 2 minutes in, and you know what? Good for them. The other members carried it perfectly fine, better in fact for not having to work around her. We get plenty of lines from Haseul and Gowon, and Shock of Shocks, Vivi, Hyunjin, and Gowon all get more lines than Jinsol and Olivia Hye. All we wanted this whole time was a chance to hear Haseul's magical voice after 2 years, and hear Gowon be able to breathe and actually sing, and we got both on this one song. And it's the best track to boot. It makes me laugh, but it also makes me smile. If every LOONA song was arranged this way, we'd have nothing whatsoever to complain about. With that out of the way, who owned the title track? Who owned this era, and its concept and everything to do with it? Who really painted the town? This is where I was going to put a big huge analysis, but I've got plenty of those in store for other videos, and I'm kind of tired of talking at this point. Haseul obviously owned it because it's her returning era and she is the Phoenix Queen, but taking that out of the equation, the fact that it's kind of hard to tell who did is a testament to how much everyone was slaying in this era. Kim Lip and Chu obviously served the most lines in dance, and we're used to being dragged on the ground by them. Honestly though, I think it comes down to Hyunjin, Yeojin, and Jinsol. All 3 of them are much expanded in this song, Yeojin especially, and have been continuing their trend of absolutely chewing the shit out of Girl Crush. Jinsol being my bias, I'm obviously predisposed to choose her, but it must be said. The Maknae killed it harder in this song than she ever has before, and she needs to be recognized for that. For the first time, I feel like we actually have a shot at Yeojin becoming a popular bias, because look at her go.
So just watch it. 우린 계속 달릴 거야. Don't touch it. We ain't gotta go. Let us put on a show. 시작되는 clips is over. 이틀 다시 가릴지 몰라.
Give her the crown and call it a day.